Hi Draftaholics, welcome to our guide to standard for Nationals 2018. I'm Richard and I'm here with Trent. How you going?
Good, mate, yourself?
I'm going very well, thank you. You're going to tell us all about a deck today that you might see at Nationals, that is the green-based decks. How does this deck work?
Yeah, so this is a green-black Constrictor deck. It's been around for quite some time. Constrictor was released in 8th Revolt, and ever since then, it's been paired with cards like a Walking Ballista, Rishka Pima Renegade to try and power out as much damage as you can very quickly. Veterous Gear Hulk, obviously a great payoff for the deck.
Just doubling those counters on and on and on, making things huge.
It's just a very high-powered, high linear deck. Just trying to maximize on getting as many creatures on the board as possible, as much pressure.
Okay, you've also got some land elves over here trying to get you faster. Is it a worry that you've got some one toughness things in this deck?
Yeah, so there's the Scourge of the Standard World, Goblin Chainwheel is obviously quite good against this strategy. As you see, Lanor Elves, Glintsafe Siphoner, and potentially Walking Ballista all being X1s, so they can be a liability. It is something that you definitely need to be cognizant of when you're playing against those decks. But the payoff for Lanor Elves is very real. Obviously, with Walking Ballista, you can have very powerful turns by going Lanor Elf, Rishka Pima Renegade, Veterous Gear Hulk, a lot of power very quickly. Lanor Elf is still a great card despite Goblin Chainwheel obviously being overbearing in the format.
All right, excellent. So there's some other choices we could have had for this deck. I mean, this has been around for a long time, so they're pretty tuned in there. But what have you got in the sideboard?
So this pretty much just shores up our weakness to control decks. Obviously, I didn't mention it, but we have 4 Ravenous Chupacabras in the main deck. Super good against creature-based decks. Not so good against Teferi, Scarab God, things like that. You definitely don't want your Ravenous Chupacabra being eaten by Scarab God and coming back to the other side of the field.
Poor Chupacabra.
So things like Shape of Sanctuary, Lifecrafter's Bestiary, my opinion, best card in the 75.
Big call.
Very much so. And obviously Vraska Relic Seeker, very powerful card, great Planeswalker, very good across multiple matchups. So
most of it's designed to get the control off your back.
Yeah, sorry, obviously you've got like Vraska's Contempt for like cards like Ronus the Undomitable, Hazard the Fervent, and HP Harvest is just a great card, helps with the energy package. Great to put counters on as well.
All right, so there's another version of this deck that we've seen that's got a few more cards from other sets in it. It's the more mono green. I guess it does have black in it, right? But it's almost mono green.
Sure. So we've obviously this is the green black deck. There is an iteration of this that is just straight mono green, and then there's another iteration that is also splashing blue for cards like Commit to Memory, as we've seen earlier on in one of the other deck techs. And things like Spell Pierce, Negate from the sideboard. This is just as linear as you can get for the format if you want to play creatures. Turn 1, Elvish Mystic, or Lanor Elves, as we have it. Turn 2, Still Elite Champion, 5 power, 4 toughness, can't be blocked by a lot of things on turn 2. Huge payoff for the deck.
So yeah, you got some big boys in this deck, and the biggest of all.
Yeah, so this is the payoff. Like this 60 here is very cognizant of trying to get Golta Primal Hunger on the battlefield as quick as possible. 12-12 trample. If it turns sideways, you're looking pretty good.
Can you keep it alive though? How can you keep it alive?
Well, obviously the only form of defense in this deck is Blossoming Defense, but this card is great. Very cheap interaction. Like a counter spell for their cast down Vraska's Contempt, Ravenous Chupacabra. It's just huge. It's very and +2 being able to like crew your Heart of Kiran, give it +2 with Blossoming Defense, and then follow up with a Golta because you have so much power on the board. Very strong play.
Yeah, it can die very, very quickly. All right, so we've got some other choices for the sideboard here. Maybe a similar idea to the other green-black version?
Sort of. So there's kind of like a little bit more interaction in this deck. Doomfall is obviously a great card, played across multiple, pretty much every black deck in the format. Great here, very good against Teferi-based strategies, or even unfair-based strategies. Obviously, Deathcore Scavenger, good against Godfarrow's Gift. Not so bad against Shaker Canara, Scrap Heaps, Ground Your decks as well. Nissa Vital Force, fantastic at checking cards like Teferi, and then getting under the cards like Fumigate and Settler Wreckage. Naturalize, everybody knows what Naturalize does. It's a great sideboard card. Hour of Glory for your Hazard-based decks. Good in the mirror for Ronus the Indomitable. And the Swamp, it's an interesting one, but it's definitely there just to help power out with the Doomfall of the Hour of Glories.
You've got so many black cards coming in, you might want to be able to cast them.
That's exactly.
Naturalize, good for Godfarrow's Gifts killing also.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Trent. Thanks for talking about these green decks. How many do you think we're going to see at Nationals?
Look, to be honest, the decks have definitely fallen out of favour, green-black being primarily the one that's fallen out of favour. A lot of diehards hang on to the snake deck because it does have the ability to generate some free wins. But I would expect to see the mono green deck be more predominant. Overall, probably not a lot. The format has... It's been around for a long time, so the format has bypassed this a little bit, but we'll see.
All right, excellent. Thanks a lot again. And if you guys want to go big, you want to play a Gulter, you want to put counters on everything, these might be the decks for you.